What's up guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 Black Armory weapon review video. In today's video, I'll be going over a year 1 weapon that came in that now has a chance to drop with a curated roll and random rolls. It is the Nightshade. So for all this footage, I am using the curated roll. That is basically what I'm going to be covering in this, and potentially some good random rolls you can get with it once you obtain the Nightshade. So on how to obtain, for the curated roll, you must pick up the quest from Zavala where you need to complete 30 strike bounties. I mean, it's pretty simple. You can get it done in 6 days if you wanted to. So, and once you do that, you can also get it to drop from Zavala from a package as well, and that one will come with random rolls. Now, if you remember the Nightshade from year 1, the curated roll is basically like that. So you know, lightweight frame, superb handling, move faster with this weapon equipped. Obviously, in the archetype, 450 rounds per minute. Comes with the same size. You have the red dot MOA 2, the red dot micro, and a long zoom scope. I would switch between the red dot micro and the red dot 2 MOA. Just depends how you feel. I use both for this gameplay, I believe, so keep that in mind. It does come with tactical meg, which slightly increases stability, increases reload speed, and slightly increases magazine size. Then you have armor-piercing rounds, which obviously can penetrate targets, gives you a little more range, but I definitely want tactical mag. I think it's a little more viable in the Crucible. Next, we have Under Pressure, which is an added-on trait. Pretty cool. Improves stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. And then finally, you have its OG perk, Kill Clip. Reloading after kill grants increased damage, and with the curated roll, it comes with a range masterwork. And in this footage, I was also using a counterbalance stock mod to help with that recoil direction. What's cool about the lightweight frame archetype, obviously falls under 450 RPM. It's in the mid tier between, I would say, like rapid fire and adaptive frame and the aggressive frame. And what's cool is when you have the weapon equipped, you get a +2 to your mobility stat, so you can technically move faster with this weapon equipped. Now, mod-wise, I would suggest a counterbalance mod for PvP and either a minor spec or a rampage spec mod for PvE, depending on if you have rampage or not. Going over good masterwork, the curated roll comes with a ranged masterwork, which is probably the best option for this type of pulse rifle, but a stability masterwork would work as well. Going over PvE and the PvE side of Gambit, it can perform well with the right roll. Now, the curated roll wouldn't be bad, but there are plenty of better perk combinations you can get for PvE related activities. Pulses have always been really good as primary weapons for both lower tier and end game PvE activities. Like, the archetype itself doesn't have like anything special when it comes to performing better or worse than other pulses. Like, I know a lot of people use the aggressive frame because it hits like a truck, automatically comes with a miniature version of high cal rounds, and can hit from like any distance. Like, obviously this one could shoot faster, you know, little better handling, you know, just good all-around stats. So, you know, I think pulses are just pretty solid when it comes to general PvE. For Gambit, again, it's probably going to perform well since it can transition between PvE and the PvP sides fairly well, and it allows you to stay back and create moats for your team to have bigger blockers. Plus, you can take out the enemy blockers that head over before your team comes back to the bank, as long as you have on like a shotgun or a fusion rifle or something like that. Now, again, the curated roll itself would be okay, but if you wanted a PvE specific god roll to pick up, it would have short or medium zoom sights, a pendant mag or extended mag, but only when paired with outlaw. Tactical mag, steady rounds, or flared mag well in the magazine slot. Outlaw or ambitious assassin in trait column number 1, and then rampage in trait column number 2. Going over the Crucible and the PvP side of Gambit, it's pretty freaking solid in the Crucible. Obviously, the year 1 roll was always good because of Kill Clip, and with the curated roll having the addition of Under Pressure and a range masterwork, it just helps out with the consistency of this weapon when the mag starts to drop. It's pretty solid. In my opinion, you can technically get a better roll. Like, technically speaking, you can't get what is considered a PvP god roll, but the curated roll is a solid option when it comes to using a pulse rifle. I would say the curated roll is probably one of the best rolls you can get. With it being lightweight, you can pop in and out of your engagements faster, which can help with your survivability. On that PvP side of Gambit, though, it can perform fairly well considering your engagements are at a distance, and I think it can transition between the PvE and PvP sides like I mentioned, but you'll probably be outgunned a few times by machine guns, linear fusions, so just keep that as a heads up. I think when it comes to the curated roll in Gambit, it'd be good, but it wouldn't be at the god roll level. I think you could definitely get a PvP curated roll. I think that other pulse rifles perform better in Gambit because they have longer ranges. Things like, oh, the Blast Furnace or the Go Figure, Right Side of Wrong, they have longer range and they hit harder. So that's just my opinion. But if you did want a PvP god roll, it would have, again, the red dot 2 MOA or the red dot micro in the sight slot. I think those are the best sights for this thing, in my opinion. Accurized rounds, tactical mag, steady rounds, or flared mag well in the mag slot. You have some options there. Rangefinder, under pressure, or moving target in trait column number 1. Highly recommend rangefinder because then you can spec out on handling and stability and not worry about range drop off. And then you can also have kill clip, head seeker, or zen moment in trait column number 2. Going over some useful exotics and perks. I can't think of any relevant exotics to perk this weapon, but any pulse rifle perks, obviously targeting, reload speed, unflinching, dexterity, anything like that is going to help out your gameplay a lot. Going over my final thoughts, overall, the curated roll is always a solid option when it comes to the Crucible, but you can always get a god roll for PvE and an even better roll specifically for PvP activities. Again, this is kind of going over the curated roll. The curated roll is pretty freaking solid. It's basically like the year 1 Nightshade, except you get like increased accuracy and stability when the magazine gets slower. It performs pretty freaking solid, man. It still does. Like this type of pulse rifle is super underrated, especially the lightweight frame ones. Man, if you don't have the curator roll, highly recommend just grinding out those 30 strike bounties just to get it done and get this thing, and then you have the potential to get a different type of god roll from Zavala. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch you next time.